So, you've been doing the work, you're putting in the hours in your venture, in your business, you're showing up when no one's watching, and yet it feels like nothing's changing, right? Does that sound familiar? Because if you're in that place right now where you are deploying a lot of effort and your progress feels invisible, I just want to say that I see you. This is a completely normal part of the process. You know, there was a season in my life where I felt like I was just shouting into the void. I was trying everything, posting online, building offers, taking courses, meditating, journaling, doing all the right things, and yet nothing seemed to be working, right? And I would get so frustrated and I would get really doubtful about myself. I'd ask myself, am I really cut out for this? Maybe I'm not meant to make an impact. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm just wasting my time. Maybe I should just opt for a safe option here, right? But what we have to remember is while you're working, there's invisible progress taking place. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean that growth isn't happening. Think of a bamboo tree. It stands or it stays underground for years before it shoots up because it's building deep roots, deep, strong roots. And that's the phase that you might be in right now. In order to grow to heaven, your roots have to go down to hell, right? As they say. And the progress that you might not be seeing isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, and sometimes it's you saying no to old toxic habits, choosing courage over comfort, writing constantly when no one's reading, recording videos when no one's watching, selling when no one's buying, And so what if for a moment you stopped measuring progress by outcomes and results like we have been conditioned to from school? I mean, this is report card syndrome. We go to school, we, study, and we get our report card, and it shows maybe some B's, maybe some C's, an A, some D's, and we look at it and we get really down and out on ourselves like, man, I can't believe I got a D in this subject. Like, what's wrong with me, right? But what happens is then we place so much emotional emphasis and we get so swept up in those results that it starts to define us, right? And we start to lose track of the process of getting better. What if instead of measuring outcomes, you started measuring your identity, right? What is the thing that matters most? It's the person that you're becoming through this process. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. People can take away your results, but even every single time when you show up, even when it's invisible, you can't see anything, that is true leadership. That is emotional wealth, that is spiritual and emotional maturity, and that is the real win. Okay, that builds character. So here are some really practical things that have helped me stay motivated. I just want to share with you so that you can actually take away some actionable steps. Firstly, I would encourage you to put together a wins journal. Write down one way you showed up for yourself each and every day, not just results, but through your effort, through your alignment. Actually build a list of every single thing that you're proud of yourself for doing. It doesn't have to be making a sale or getting promoted. It could be something like saying that you'll go to bed at a specific hour and then doing it. It could be going out with some friends and then promising yourself that you would leave a specific hour and then doing it. It could be just showing up for yourself physically and working out in the gym and doing it. As you build this journal, it compounds and you start to build trust with yourself and show and prove to yourself that you are someone who acts with integrity. You're building a strong foundation of trust with your subconscious mind. And in doing so, you're actually starting to build a new habit of self-love so that when you go after bigger and more challenging things, you're more likely to show up because you have proven to yourself that you can do so even with the small things. Secondly, what I'd encourage you to do is to revisit your why regularly. Put your mission somewhere visible. Remind yourself why you started, why the world needs what you're building. My why is that so I can ensure that, the 18-year version of myself who felt lost, who felt stuck, who felt anxious and depressed, swept up in a very vicious cycle of substance abuse and self-loathing, feels proud, feels seen, feels heard. My why is so that I can help support my dad with his cancer treatment and retire him early so he doesn't have to continue working into his 70s. My why is so that I can leave the world a bit better than I found it, to help others, who may be going through the same feelings of stuckness and desperation and hopelessness that I did. These are my whys. They don't have to be yours, but every single time I revisit my whys, it just fuels me with such emotional charge, excitement, passion. I really encourage you to do the same. What I'd also encourage you to do lastly is to talk to someone who sees you for who you are, someone who supports you with compassion, with no judgment whatsoever. It could be a coach, it could be a mentor, it could be a friend, someone you can confide in, someone who constantly reminds you of the progress that you can't always see. So I'm really psyched up about this because, I just want you to know you're not behind. You're not broken. You are in a sacred stretch of becoming, of building your character. Invisible progress is still progress. Your bamboo shoot is growing. Keep going, that you are just so much closer than you think. So I'm sending you lots of love. Have a beautiful day or night ahead. I'm right there with you every single day. Have a beautiful day or night ahead.